We're at southeast of Saline here. Volleyball getting ready for the first match of the afternoon here. Southeast Lady Trojans and Minneapolis Lady Lions. Jara Shoemaker's ankle has progressed enough to where she can play. And so it looks as if Minneapolis will play with a libero, which Emily Fleming, dressed in the off-colored jersey, will come in and sub when and where. Here we go, Southeast to serve first here. And Fleming with a nice pass to the front. Shoemaker's hit goes out the back for a point, Southeast. Nice set by Chantel, and Melanie Catron with the kill. First point for Minneapolis. Chantel to serve here with it 1-1. Of course, we have a Syme and a Stein still in the lineup for the Southeast girls. I'll pick up the other two. 15, a good athlete. This is a little big. There's a terrible pass. It's going out of bounds by Southeast. So Rodriguez girl. Another nice serve by Chantel. Rodriguez from the back row gets it over, and we dig it out of the net. Bounds with a nice dig. Now Syme comes to the net and buries one in our back row. So it's Rodriguez, Schlesner, Syme, Stein, Staub, and she turns, I'll get her name, Barry. Barry to serve here. Shoemaker pass up front. Now Mel with the tip. It's in. Now Shea Shoemaker to serve for Minneapolis. So we have both Shoemaker girls on the floor at the same time here as Jara back in the lineup. Jessica DeVries will come in and hit for Emily Fleming when she rotates to the front row. Mel with a nice bump, and the outside attack by DeVries is stuffed. And we try it again. This one's down. And DeVries hammers one down for a point, Minneapolis. And that's the way we like it. Shoemaker. Good serve now. It's tipped and stuffed by Pounds over here. Pounds or Mel, one or the other. 6-2. Shea still serving. Goes to the front, and Stein just sets it right on across. Back set to Pounds. The attack is handled by Stein. Now she'll hit from the opposite side, and it's down for a point, Southeast. And it's side out to Lady Trojans. Shayla Syme will serve. 6-3, Minneapolis. Pounds with the set, and cross court, it's on the line as Jess hits a cross court winner. And it's side out to Minneapolis as Fleming comes in for Catron as she goes to the back row. So Emily will sub both ways here. Syme with a nice pass to Stein, and They put it down in the back row. Point Southeast. Now Stein. Good outside attack by Jared Shoemaker is stuffed by Southeast. Oh yeah, Frost. Stein. Purple's in the net. Point Minneapolis. I forgot about the Frost girl in the middle. Tacey Pounds now serving. Stein set to Frost and she hammers it down. Able to find an open spot in the back. Side out to Southeast. So that pass came on over, and Southeast just hammers it down. Point Southeast, and they're back in this thing, trailing 7-8. Nice set. Shoemaker's tip is in. Frost come to block, and it drops in the middle. Point Minneapolis. Now Jessica DeVries serving. Symes pass and Stein set. Oh, Mr. Syme is the line judge tonight. Jess. Good serve. Back set. Frost for Southeast. Puts it down for a point. Lady Trojans. South. Side out, Minneapolis, Jared Shoemaker to serve. Hits the tape and drops on our side. Rodriguez with a nasty serve. Shoemaker in between hits, buries it on the back row as Southeast in between players, indecisive about who was taking it. It drops for a point, Minneapolis. Chantel. That's a nice pass from the back row. Now Syme, it's going out. As Syme tries to tip, it goes out of bounds. Point Minneapolis. Back set on a cross by Stein. Now Chantel and Pounds hammers it across, and Syme is there for the stuff. Barry comes back in to serve for Southeast. Fleming with a nice pass, and Shoemaker bumps it on over. It would have been out. Rodriguez took it. Now Syme. It's in. 13-11, Minneapolis. Middle set by Chantel and Melanie Catron with a nice kill. Inside out to Minneapolis. DeVries comes back in to hit as Fleming heads to the bench. So the rotation is pretty well set. Now she will come back in for Katrin when she rotates to the back row. Shoemaker serves in good shape. Oh, what a stop. Jessica DeVries elevated up for the stuff kill against Syme. Shoemaker serves over in good shape. Rodriguez pass is good. Now the set. And DeVries with a nice attack. It's in. Cross-court winner as Jess DeVries finds the cross-court winner for the third time today. Shea still serving. Stein with a set. And nice dig by Shea. Now Jarrah Shoemaker. As Syme has the stuff, Jarrah able to get a hand on it. Goes out of bounds, point side out to southeast. Syme with a deep serve set by Pounds. DeVries, there's another one. She's dialed in on that cross-court winner here tonight as she nails another one. Now Fleming serving for Minneapolis. Rodriguez with a nice pass. Now in the middle, Frost goes off the hand of Fleming and out of bounds. Stein will serve. Short, we get to it. We just dump it on over. Now Stein with a bump. That's out the back. Frost had to take a step back to the middle line and hammers it out the back line. Point Minneapolis. Here's Tacey Pounds. Syme with a good pass. Now Frost hits through the block of Jarrah Shoemaker. Side out, southeast. That's a wicked low serve by Schlesinger. Nice dig on the back row by Syme. Now Frost lines it up again. We're in the net. Point southeast as Minneapolis is caught in the net. Real short. The other one was the same way. Low liner. This one dumps right in behind the middle row. That one's in the net. There's nothing wrong. She thought there was. I think she's getting faces mixed up. Should have been. Yep. Timeout. Southeast. We'll be back after this. We did end up getting that point. Now DeVries getting ready, and the ref's still not ready to go. Frost with the attack at the net. Jarrah and Shea tips it on over as the stuff by Frost. Shea hits through it. It runs across the tape, drops on southeast side for a point. Now DeVries. It's out. 2017, Minneapolis Southeast serving here. Now the back set by Chantel, and a good attack by Jarrett goes wide. Out of bounds, point Southeast. 2018. It's a good pass by DeVries. Now the set to Shea. It goes in the net. And Coach Mack wants the timeout. 2019, Minneapolis just up 1 now. Southeast back in this thing. We're back. Southeast serving here. This down 1 point. Pounds with a nice pass. Shea with a left-hand tip. It's out of bounds. And we're all tied up. 20 all. Fleming, nice pass to Chantel. That's in. That was close. Got a good call there by the line judge as Shea's attack drops right on the line. We're ahead 21-20. Jarrett with a wicked low liner, and they just bump it on over. Now the set by Chantel. It's blocked. Tip by Shea, it goes in. Quick to the net, Shoemaker with the left-hand tip, and it drops in for a point. As the first attempt was stuffed by Syme. Oh, double hit by Rodriguez is called. She tried to set it. It's a wicked serve by Shoemaker, and Minneapolis up 23-20. Here we go. Minneapolis up by 3. Jared Shoemaker's serve is just barely in the net. Scored a point for Southeast. Now Minneapolis to face probably Southeast's best server here as Rodriguez gets ready to serve for Southeast. It's dealt with. Wow. We do get it over. And Syme buries it in the back row. 23-22. As the pass after the dig stayed in the back row for Minneapolis. We just had to recover to get to it. And there's another one on the back row, and we're all tied up 23, and Coach Mack calls the timeout. Here we go, 23 all. Rodriguez serving for Southeast. Pumps one over. Now we have a good chance for an attack here, Melanie Catron. That hit something on the way over, I don't know. Nothing called. Catron goes to get that one. It's out. Time. Hammers one to the back row. It's point Minneapolis, and we're at match point. 24-23, and we need one here. Chantel. Serve is over in good shape. Rodriguez bumps it up. They just set it on over. Nice attack by Shea from the outside. There's another one. Oh, what a dig by Shoemaker. Nice set by Mel, and a good hit by Shoemaker is handled. Point Southeast. As it falls on our side. 24-24. Coach is yelling for D, and we need it here. Pounds. Pass from the back row goes into the net as Chantel tries to tip it on over, and it's a point Southeast. (25-24) Southeast. Syme, nice stuff. Melanie Catron with the big stuff. right there, and Minneapolis gets the side out. And Shea Shoemaker will serve with it all knotted up at 25 all. Symes' pass goes errant. They recover. Now DeVries hammers one. It's stuffed to the back row, and Symes is in the net. Point Minneapolis. That's a tough one. Purple was in the net. 26-25. Shoemaker. Serve is over in good shape. Now Stein with the good set. It falls on our side as she hits right through the block. 26-26. Frost back in for Southeast. Syme serving. DeVries. That would have been out. Southeast up 27-26. A chance to win it right here. And they do. Well, our defensive struggles continue on the back row as our Achilles heel so far this year, as our passes from the back row still leave a lot to be desired, and Southeast wins that one 28-26. We'll be back with the second game. We'll have to do it in 3 here in just a minute. Staffed on our side. Syme gets to the net. And our pass too close for her to pass that one up. Knocks it down. Point Southeast here in the second game of this first match. And they've got Southeast over the net. And that's a point Minneapolis, and side out to Minneapolis as Jarrah still serves. 3 ball here as Chantel with a good set in the middle. That's down. Shoemaker with the kill. Just inside the 10-foot line. Jarrah Shoemaker. Stein with a set. The outside hit. It's handled on our back row by Pounds. Stein. And that's been a winner pretty much all night long. Syme has been able to hammer it down anytime. She gets set good in the middle, and it's a point. Mel with a good hit. And that's going to be 4. Two. Rodriguez sends one back to the corner. Now Shea with a tip is covered by Stein. And their pass goes errant in the net. Point Minneapolis. Chantel. Yeah, slipped by Mel. Side out to Southeast. 3-3. Barry here, serving. tipped at the net. It goes on over as Syme just back sets it over. Nice dig by Jera. And a nice attack by Shea as she finds the middle of the defense in Southeast, knowing that home. Side out to Minneapolis. Shea Shoemaker serving now. Good pass by Syme. And that's a nice save by Pounds, as that was... Well, I can't agree with that. That was the normal Syme call. Right on the line, he calls it out. We'll have to review that one. Usually happens every time we're here, and so far it's holding true to form. Mr. Syme with a nasty call, as that one was squarely in. And Shayla Syme serves one out the back row. Emily Fleming in, now serving. Rodriguez with a nice pass. And a back row attack by Rodriguez. Frost with a hand on it. Syme gets it over now. Jera Shoemaker. We're in the net. (6-5) Southeast. Stein serving. Nice cross-court winner by Jera Shoemaker. That angle, it's a little tougher to get it over, but Jera elevated nicely, and that one's in. Side out Minneapolis, Tacey Pounds. Nice dig by Tacey on the back row. 3-ball for Southeast, that's in. Frost with the winner in the corner. (7-6) Southeast. Well, for some reason, she rotated to have somebody else serve. I don't quite understand that. I guess she's happy with the alignment. Tape shot. We dig it out and bump it over in 3. Frost attack in the middle. Is handled. That's in. Referee called it in, and we don't care what Mr. Syme called. Jessica DeVries. Her pass goes off to the side and scored a point, Minneapolis. Jess serving well here tonight. That first pass has got to go forward. It can't go backwards. Tip. We're there to cover as Jera tips it on over. Nice dig by Fleming. And a good attack by Shea Shoemaker. They will not get to. Point Minneapolis. That's in. Jess rears back and hammers another one over Syme with a pass. Set, we tip it. And we get it over in 3. Now Syme, as Rodriguez comes to the net with a winner. Hits through the block and it lands on our side, point Southeast. Staub serving now for Southeast as we dig it. Syme puts one back in the corner. We cannot get to it. And Southeast back within 1 here, 9-10. Staub with a do-over. That's out the back. That would be a point Minneapolis. Now Joe Shoemaker. That should have been a lift, but not, as Stein pulled that one out of the net. (12-9), Shoemaker. That one's in good shape. 2 hit. Side out to Southeast. Rodriguez serving now for Lady Trojans. Fleming gets to that low liner. Nice attack by Shea. And Syme sends it to the back row again. We'll have to attack from the back row. Now Shea with a good attack. They make a nice play on the back row, and Syme tries to get one to go down. Now the tip by Shoemaker is good. Drops in, point Minneapolis. Chantel heads to the service line. Melanie Catron hits through the block of Shayla Syme, and it drops for a point Minneapolis, 14-10 Minneapolis. Is set by Darrow, and we cover as they stuff it. Nice hit by Shea again. They can't get to that one. Second time's a charm as Shoemaker hits through the block, and Southeast wants to talk about it. 15-10 Minneapolis. Here we go. Darrow, nice deep serve. And Syme tips it on over. That's going out. Point Minneapolis. 16-10. Darrow with a nice short serve. Rodriguez able to get to it. Now Syme puts it down for the Lady Trojans, and it's point and side out to Southeast. Here we go. Barry with a serve. Fleming, nice dig, and Jarrah hammers it from the back row. It's down, right on the line. Tape shot. Makes it over and inbounds for point Minneapolis. And a quick side out as we get it right back. Now Shea Shoemaker. Stein with a nice dig, and Stein just sets it on over. DeVries with the outside attack. Now a chance at another one. That's stopped by Syme, and it falls on our side, but we tip it as it goes out of bounds. So it is point Southeast. We get it over in 3. Frost. And a nice effort by the girls to get to that one. And another nice dig by Shea on the back row. DeVries with the attack. Now Frost with the tip. Now Jarrah. Chantel with the dig, and we cannot get it over. That one was headed out. Syme took it anyway. Frost now. There, we finally get a good attack at the net, and Pounds hammers one through the defense for a point for the red. Syme's pass is coming over, and Stein knocks it on over, and DeVries sets it on over. We get a hand on it, but it drops on our side, point Southeast. Now Stein. That's out. Runs across the tape and falls out of bounds. Point Southeast. 15-18. Southeast serving here. And there's a nice attack by Jarrah Shoemaker. Finds a spot in the back corner for a point, Minneapolis. My. Well, that one is a side out to Southeast. 19-16. Tape shots. Shea's able to adjust. Rodriguez with the tip. And Frost finishes it off. 17-19. And Coach Mack wants timeout. 19 Southeast serving, and our pass goes in the net. Tipped by Pounds, and Rodriguez tips it right back over. Syme with the back row attack. Takes Shoemaker to the back row, and DeVries hammers one down to the back row for a point, and side out to Minneapolis. Jess. That hit headed down to the floor. That's out of bounds. (19-20) Southeast serving here as Frost goes out and Staub comes back in. Very nice serve. Tip by Shea. Now the set. That goes way out the back. I don't believe there's anyone there to block. Syme thought it was tipped. I didn't see it. Now Jared Shoemaker. That one's coming over. And we just give him a nice easy tip. That's in. Shea Shoemaker with a nice attack at the net. Finds the back line, and it's a point Minneapolis as we jump out to a 3-point lead, 22-19. Jared Shoemaker still serving here. Minneapolis back from the timeout, up 22-19. Southeast tips it on over. Now the set by Chantel, and the kill by Shoemaker is hammered through the block of Syme for a point, Minneapolis. 23-19, Jarrah still serving, nice serve, it's coming over. And Shea tips it. It's a point, Minneapolis. We don't want to give them back the ball. And we're at game point here in the second game. Jared Shoemaker. It's one Rodriguez with a nice pass. Syme. Oh, that should have been 4. We didn't have anybody block that. Well, they're letting them play. Rodriguez, the winner across court. Southeast with the side out and the point, 20-24 now serving. Point Southeast. Got two middles playing together there, it looks like. Fleming's pass, Mel has to take it. Shea bumps it over. Now the set, Syme down. Point Southeast. Coach Mack is going to get the timeout as Southeast 22, Minneapolis 24. League is serving for Southeast. They're trailing 22-24. And Mel hammers it on over. Syme with the tip, it's in. Drops in a open spot on our front row. Point Southeast, now Rodriguez. Serve is over in good shape. That hits the floor. Point Minneapolis, and we win it. We take the second game 25-23 as Southeast took the first one 28-26. And we'll be back with the third game here in just a minute. Here we go, third game of this first match. And that's a good start right there as we have a real nice pass set and Shoemaker able to elevate, hammers it down. No one's going to touch that one. We start out. Good shape. Tacey with the set. Mel tips it over. Syme with a nice attack. We handle it. That goes in the net. Side out, point 2, Southeast. Barry in serving now for Southeast. That's a lift. Pounds able to get to that low liner, and it handcuffed Mel. There's another one. Better pass this time. And our attack is short of the net. Point Southeast. Southeast. There's another one that comes over. And mid-row attack by Shea. Now Syme. Tipped as it goes over. Coach Mack out giving instructions right out to the line. She wants the girls to be repositioned a little bit there. And we bump it over. Nice save by Stein. And Syme sends it back to the corner. There's a nice attack by Mel. It goes down, point Minneapolis. As DeBreeze comes back in to play the front row. For Fleming. Now Shea Shoemaker. Outside set, and they are able to get it over. We tip it. Syme won't. She'll hammer it through. There's a nice block by Mel. Point Minneapolis. In pretty good position there for the stuff. Shoemaker, a nice low liner. Back set to Syme. It's going over. She's in the net. A little bit anxious there as Shayla saw the ball coming over. That one was headed for the stands. They could not recover that one. And Minneapolis up 5-4. Lady Lions just competed in the Russell Invitational Tournament this weekend. Went 3-2, which is a pretty good outing out there with the likes of Hoisington. Always tough out there in that tournament, coming away with 3 victories and 2 losses. I was about ready to say I could see some improvement here. The girls were attacking the net rather well that first game, and then the bottom kind of dropped out after a while, and our passing woes continue. Well, half the game is passing and defense. The other half is, that's tipped at the net, point Minneapolis. The other half is setting and attacking at net. And we could use a little help in all 4 categories. Frost hammers one through, and it drops right in the middle as it was tipped at the net. Stein now with the serve. Pass. That's stuffed by Frost at the net on a good attack by Minneapolis. And Southeast back to an 8-6 lead. And Rodriguez has one slip through her hands as she tries to set. Side out to Minneapolis, Tacey Pounds. It's a nice serve. Frost gets one down for the Lady Trojans, side out to purple. Jera bumps it over as the pass. There's a nice block by Jera. 4 hits. Nice net play there by Jera Shoemaker. Jess DeVries. It's in. Easily in. Nobody home there. As we catch the backside creeping up. Put another one back there. I think he'd be in good shape. And she does. We tip it. And then it lands right in between 3 of us. And it's a side out to Southeast. Nice pass by Tacey. The back set to Jera. And a good attack at the net. Minneapolis comes away with a point right there. Nice attack. And it started with a good pass there. We've got it all knotted up here at 10-all. Jera Shoemaker serve. Handcuffs the libero. Mid-row attack by DeVries goes in the net. And it's side out to Southeast. Rodriguez serving. Rodriguez with a wicked serve. And Shea with a nice attack. Tipped by Southeast out of bounds. Point Minneapolis. Well, all the games have been close here. 12-11 Southeast. Syme hammers one through the block of Pounds. And our pass goes clear out of bounds. Back set. Our attack is a little short. Goes in the net. And Coach Mack wants timeout. 14-11 Southeast here in the 3rd game of this first match. Back from that timeout, Southeast serving. Our pass goes in the net. We try to tip it on over, and Southeast is there to stuff us. Point Lady Trojans. I don't know if Southeast was at Russell or not. Now with a nice cross-court attack. And Pounds with a nice set, falling out of bounds in the back row. Now Syme puts one right in the corner. And she has a knack for setting that clear to the back row in the corner, and it falls in. Now Stein. And a nice pass by Shoemaker. And cross-court winner just misses the line. And it's 17-11 Southeast. And we need a side out right here. Nice pass by Pounds. and Melanie Catron with a nice attack from the middle. Gets just what we needed. And we get the service back as Shea Shoemaker goes back to serve, trailing 12-17. Left Syme with the big hit. Syme serving for Southeast. Now the back set. Tipped over by Mel, and Frost is right there to tip it right back to the vacated spot for a point, Southeast. That's tipped. I guess not. 2012. Now the set, Southeast, and Frost finds a spot in the back row. We cannot get to it. Shayla Syme still serving for Southeast. Shay's pass in good shape. Tipped by Mel. Frost with the tip. We're stuffed. Twice. We tried to tip it over, and I believe it was Syme clear up to the front. Tipped that one back in. And Jessica DeVries goes out with problem. Back set, Melanie Catron. Syme's there on the back row. Now Rodriguez. She can hit from the back row. Connor Fulton in to take Jessica DeVries' place. Oh, what a save by Pounds as they stuff us. It comes back over, and she throws out the arm. It flies back over, drops right in the middle. Quick reflexes there by Tacey Pounds. Gets the side out to Minneapolis. Now Fleming. And Syme with the big hit is dug by Shea Shoemaker in the back row, and Jared Shoemaker comes to the net with an attack that falls in the back row. Point Minneapolis. Fleming still serving for Minneapolis. Rodriguez directs that pass in. Now Frost. We're able to be there. And Staub, I believe, with the lift on the back row, scored a point, Minneapolis, and we've got another timeout. We'll be back after this one. Fleming still serving. Minneapolis on a roll here, trying to get back in this third game. That's out. Trying to get back in this third game as Southeast has jumped out to a 6-point lead here late in this third game of the first match, 22-16. And an untimely service error there as the ball goes in the net and side out to Southeast. Stein serving now. That one finds the floor, and now it's match point. Southeast 24, Minneapolis 16. They won the first one 28-26. We won the second one 25-23. And we let it drop on the back row as Southeast takes it in 3 25-16. We'll be back with the second match here in a little bit. Here we go. We're getting ready for the second match. Rodriguez jump serve. And there's a nice set as Shea comes to the net. Southeast took the first one in 3. Would like to return the favor here in 2. And we score the first point of this match. 1-0 Minneapolis. Chantel starting it off for Minneapolis, and that goes in. Point Minneapolis, 2-0. Now Coach Mack would like for the girls to play a little better this game. We're up playing pretty well the first game of the first match and then won the second. Thought they had the first one under control also and let that one slip away. And Southeast takes the third game rather easily. 2-1 Southeast. Only Catherine with the hit over, and that's out. Mr. Syme calls a tip at the net, so that'll be a point Southeast. 2-2. And that's an easy call. That one's out. Shea Shoemaker to serve now for Minneapolis, and we're up 3-2. Nice deep serve. Syme takes it, and her outside hit goes long out the back. Point Minneapolis. 4-2. Another nice serve by Shea, and Southeast is in the net. As Jessica DeVries was there to block, that ball was coming over. And double hit by Shayla Syme. Point Minneapolis. Well, it started out well here. Shea's serve is in good shape. There were a couple of service errors in the first match which hurt, along with some poor passing. So far here, girls are rolling right along. A couple of mental errors there by Southeast, and there's a nice stuff by Tacey Pounds. Set by Chantel, and the hit by Melanie Catron. It's good. Point Minneapolis, and we're up 8-2. Shoemaker still serving for Lions. There's a tape shot by Syme, which breaks the string and gives Southeast a point. Trailing 8-3, Shayla Syme will serve. Floats one over to the back row. And we do get it over. Frost tips it right through our block. And falls on our side, point Southeast. Darrow's pass. And a nice attack by Jess. And Jared Shoemaker goes down to get that one. There's another one from the outside to Rees with the cross-court winner we saw early in the first game of the first match. And starting out well here, Emily Fleming's serve was deep and low, and Southeast not able to handle that one. 10-4, Minneapolis. Another nice serve by Fleming. Nobody to block. Frost just tips it right over into the middle. And it's side out to Southeast. Stein will serve. Nice pass by Shea. And Jarrett comes to the net. They call that out, as she had her side style in on that cross court winner, short of the 10-foot line, went out of bounds. Tipped by Jarrett. They come to get it, and the pass goes out of bounds. So Southeast not able to pass well here. And Tacey Pounds to serve here. Rears back and hammers one over to the back row. Southeast able to get the set to the outside, and Rodriguez with a kill. And the cross-court winner lands in for a point. Southeast 11-7. It's out. Mr. Syme with a good call. Jess. That's a lift. Conley's mid-row attack caught us off guard. It was headed down to the floor. We pancake out to save it, and Jarrett could just barely get an arm on it. Called for the lift. Now Conley, or Staub, will serve here. There's a good pass. Nice back set. Jarrett did not go over. Excellent attack, though, by Minneapolis. And a service there by Southeast. Gets the side out to Minneapolis. Now Jared Shoemaker. Nice serve that was headed down to the floor. We tipped that at the net as it was coming over. Now the set to the middle. And Melanie Catron with a nice attack. Rodriguez pass comes back to the middle. They cannot recover. (14-9) Minneapolis. And that was out of bounds. Rodriguez now serving for Southeast. Shea Shoemaker can elevate, and once she hits the top of her leap, she can hammer right down to the floor. Chantel with a nice serve. Syme bumps it over. And there's Shoemaker again, comes to the net with a nice attack. Now Conley, we tip it at the net. Now Shea again. It's tipped by Syme. There's a nice save by Shea. Now Pounds rockets it to the back row. Southeast under the net. Point Minneapolis. And the girls are playing a little bit more inspired at volleyball this match. We'll be back after this timeout by Southeast. Taldero serving for Minneapolis. Syme with the set. Now Rodriguez. That's in. Good call by Mr. Syme. I bag on his calls quite often, but that one, he was right on it. Southeast now serving, trailing 16-11. Nice back set. Stein with a heck of a recovery over there. Now Shoemaker tips it on over. Rodriguez goes out of bounds to get it. Syme, it's out. Good call. Out of bounds as Syme tries to set that ball to the back row again. It goes out of bounds. Point Minneapolis, 17-11. Stein with the set to Syme and a nice dig by Shea on the back row. Gatrin tip. Stein's there to cover. Chantel tips it over. It's out. It was a tape shot. It was not tipped. Why, of course, it was tipped. It was all taped. It hit nobody's hand but the tape top of the net. Symes serve. Jarrett from the back row. It's down. Nice back row attack by Jarrett Shoemaker. And it's right back to Minneapolis. Now Emily Fleming. That's out. Point Minneapolis, 19-12. Fleming still serving here for Lady Lions. She rears back and hammers one on over. Stein has to go clear out of bounds to get it. Now the good set by Darrow and DeVries. Now we're playing. Much better volleyball right here. The ladies are playing than I've seen all night long. Good pass to the front, good sets, and we're attacking the net. That's out. Point Southeast, and Stein will serve for Lady Trojans. Set by Pounds. Shoemaker with a tip. They're over the net. Point to Minneapolis. 21-13. Tacey Pounds. Stein back set to Conley. Now Darrow bumps it up. DeVries goes way out of bounds to get it. Sets it on over. Now back row attack by Syme is handled by Shea Shoemaker. Frost with the tip. DeVries. Southeast in the net again. Rodriguez backs into the net. Timeout, Southeast. Minneapolis up 22-13. Here we go. Tacey Pounds still serving for Minneapolis. Puts it to the back row. Conley's pass goes in the net. Syme able to drag it out of there. And Conley just tips it on over. Now Shoemaker with a attack from the middle. And that doesn't go over. Point Minneapolis, 23-13. As Shoemaker was there to block on the defense. Nice deep serve by Tacey. Syme has to take it. Now the pass and the outside attack by DeVries. Once again. Oh, they let it drop. Slesner. And we're at game point right here. Tacey Pounds. It's going out of bounds. Point Minneapolis. We win it 25-13. We'll be back with game two here in just a minute. Here we go. Start of this second game of this second match. Minneapolis winning the first game here. Double hit not called there. Now the good set by Pounds. Shoemaker comes to the net with a good attack. And Southeast just tips it on over. Now Fleming. It's not coming over as Shayla Syme mishit. Minneapolis point. Jarrah with another nice serve. Conley's pass comes all the way over. There's a nice attack by Shoemaker. Shea with a good attack. It drops in the middle. There was no one home. Point Minneapolis. We're out to a 2-0 lead. Jarrah, Shoemaker still serving. That's net. Rodriguez serving here for Southeast, and that's net. 3-1 Minneapolis. Now Chantel serves for Minneapolis. Deep serve, Rodriguez takes it. And they bump it over in 3. Fleming's pass. Mid-court. So the set was away from the net a little bit. And our attack goes in the net. Point Southeast, 2-3 purple. Short serves handled by Fleming. Now Gatrin in the middle. And the set by Pounds is terrible. Lands on top the tape, and Shoemaker cannot get a hand on it. Nice tip by Gatrin. And there's a nice block, step kill by Gatrin. And nice net play there by Melanie Gatrin. Now Shea Shoemaker to serve. Syme. That was blocked by Pounds, and there's a nice dig by Shoemaker. And that was going down to the floor as DeVries hits through the block for a point, Minneapolis. 5-3. Syme just tips it on over. Now, good set by Pounds. Gatrin late getting to the net, hammers it right into the net. Point Southeast. Now Shayla Syme. Nice pass by Darrow and a good set by Pounds. And Conley, or Schlesinger, hits right through the block. It drops on our side, point Southeast, and they've got it all tied up, 5 apiece. Syme serving for Southeast. That one makes it to the floor. And Southeast takes a 6-5 lead. Out the back row. Didn't come close as our back row watches that sail long. Point Minneapolis. Fleming. Tipped down by Jarrah. They cannot bring it back up. Point Minneapolis, 7-6. Big Blue. Fleming rocks back and hammers over a nice serve. Frost gets it over, but Stein sends it back to the corner, and we cannot get a hand on it. Tied out to Southeast, 7-7. Stein serving here. We get a hand on that one and set it on over. Stein, as the pass goes to the back row, goes to get it. Jarrah Shoemaker with a nice attack in the middle. Scored a point, Minneapolis. Now Tacey Pounds. Nice deep serve there. Stein just bumps it over. Set by Darrow. DeVries. It's good. Down the line it went. Stein could just get a hand on it. It goes out of bounds. Point Minneapolis. Casey Pound still serving for Minneapolis, just short in the net. Side out to Southeast. Nice serve. It's handled by our back row, and Jess doesn't tip it over. Goes in the net, and we're all tied up at 9. That's out. Back row. Pretty good eye on that one. Now Jess DeVries will serve for Minneapolis, leading 10-9. Shoemaker with the tip. Stein. That's out. Point Minneapolis. Big hit by Simons handled, and there comes Shoemaker to the front row with a big attack. It's point Minneapolis as Jared Shoemaker has hammered down a couple in the middle here. Jessica DeVries still serving. Syme with the pass. Stein set is tipped over by Frost. Oh, what a save. We can't get it over in 3 though. Point Southeast. And Staub will come in for Frost to serve and play back row. 12-10 Minneapolis. Stuff by Rodriguez, and we tip it out of bounds. Shoemaker come to the net with a big attack, and it's blocked. 11-12. Southeast serving. Backside. Jarrell with the tip. They're there to cover. Now Syme, it's in. 12-12. Fleming's pass goes back to the corner, and her kill attempt is in. Point Minneapolis as Emily Fleming sends one back to the corner. It was just inside the line as Jared Shoemaker goes to the service line for Minneapolis. Terrible pass, but Rodriguez gets to it. Now Shea's attack is stuffed at the net, tipped by Shea. Rodriguez. There you go. Send it to the back row as Melanie Catron drops the hammer on one. Point Minneapolis. Shoemaker still serving here. That one was headed down to the floor as a nice dig by Conley, a nice stuff by Melanie Catron. The outside hit by Shoemaker right through the block. It goes down to the floor, point Minneapolis. Oh my. We get to it. Everyone's out of sorts. Now Shea bumps it over and everyone gets to regain their composure as Syme with a big hit. Just puts it down right behind our setter as our pass goes over the net. 15-13 Minneapolis. Rodriguez now serving for Southeast. That one goes in the net. Point Southeast. 14-15. There's a good set. Shea hits it right through the block. Scored a point, Minneapolis. Syme with the tip. Pounds with a good set. Catherine bumps it over. And Syme's attack goes in the net. (17-14) Minneapolis. Oh, it crawls over. Call the lift. Southeast with a timeout. Minneapolis jumps out to an 18-14 lead. Go 19-14 Minneapolis. 18-14, excuse me. Syme, that's out. That was clearly out, and Mr. Syme called it in. It's okay to overrule the corner. Gonna do over. And Mr. Syme will get a better look at it this time. Shea, that was definitely tipped at the net. It's going out the back. Point Minneapolis. As Shea Shoemaker brings the hammer. Point Minneapolis, 19-14, Chantel. And the ref does call that. That was definitely a catch on that serve. Minneapolis up 20-14. Another nice serve by Chantel. That's out. And timeout Southeast, 21-14. Go. Nice tip by Shea. Syme with the tip to the back row. We can't get there. Side out Southeast. 22-15, Shea Shoemaker serving for Minneapolis here as Minneapolis trying to close out this second game of this second match. They won the first one and would like to do this in two. Shea serve is over in good shape. Syme back set over by Stein, and we're there, our set too close to the net. And it's side out to Southeast. 2-16, Shayla Syme serving for Southeast. There's a good set. And Jess hammers it into the net. Shayla Syme still serving for Southeast. It's a good pass. That's going out of bounds. Point Minneapolis. As Jessica DeVries pounds one down for Minneapolis. Now 23-17 over Southeast. Nice serve by Emily Fleming. And slugged by Sellinger. Point Southeast, side out now Stein. Serve is over. Fleming with a good pass. Good set by Pounds. And that's down. Tara Shoemaker with the attack at the net. And we're at match point right here with Tacey Pounds serving. Ross just bumps it over. Now Jared Shoemaker comes to the net. It's down. Point Minneapolis, and that's the way it ends. We take the second match into 25-18. So from Southeast, that's the way it ends tonight. Southeast takes the first match in 3. Minneapolis with 2 easy ones here in the second match. We split, and we'll be back sometime next week. I think Dale and I will be in Minneapolis for simulcast. At Minneapolis. So until then, check it out on 37. And right